So a few days ago, I got our Christmas lights up. It was after Thanksgiving, at the encouragement slash direction of my eldest child. It was going to be after Thanksgiving. And it's a simple strand of lights around our porch area and just the garland wrapped around the pillars. And it's nice. It feels warm. It feels homey. It feels welcoming. It feels Christmas-y, right? And then I open my social media feed this morning and I see this. Now, there's a guy that I think flies a drone around our neighborhood and takes pictures of sunrises and sunsets and also lovely displays like this. His name is Jason Yeaman. This is a beautiful picture, and this is honestly a beautiful display. And I love it. I love it that it's in my neighborhood. But when I see that, what happens in my heart is I think, well, maybe I need some lights going along the columns too. And maybe I could borrow an extension ladder and frame the upper windows. Maybe I need to do a little bit more. And then I'll be looking also like I love and enjoy and honor Christmas. And I'm celebrating the holiday season and achieve some sort of external sign of that. Can you relate to that? Can you relate to that feel when a Facebook memory pops up, or you hear about somebody's latest ugly sweater that they ordered, or the plans for a good socially distanced eggnog party? Do you feel that desire and that drive to achieve a greater level of sentiment or of observation of the holiday? Or do you feel like you're trying to recapture what used to be? Let's dig out grandma's cookie recipe, and I will somehow achieve an Advent Christmas season that fills me, that feeds me, that looks enough like what I want to feel, that I'll be able to relax and think that I'm celebrating well. Sisters and brothers, I want to encourage you. There's nothing wrong with a display like this. I'm planning an evening walk with my family to see some of the displays around our neighborhood. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with nutmeg and pies and ugly Christmas sweaters and COVID permitting parties like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But is that what honoring Christmas has come to look like in my heart? In our hearts? Do we feel like we need to achieve some sort of external standard of beauty, sentiment, or even tradition in order to be honoring the season? Are we intimidated by others? And do we feel driven in our own hearts or by outside forces? Because better in terms of Advent is not going to necessarily be bigger, because that's not how it started. The king, when he came in a setting much more like this. The king, when he was born, when the kingdom of God broke into this world, it did not look like the most successful display. It looked vulnerable. It looked humble. It looked lowly. Why can't my honoring of Advent, if it is truly loving him, why can't my honoring of Advent look more like this, at least in my heart? Again, not to say take down your Christmas lights, but in my heart, am I honoring him in this vulnerable, humble, dependent way? Micah 5:2, a prophecy from God in the Old Testament, looking forward to the coming of the king, said, "But you, O Bethlehem Ephrathah." Bethlehem was not a big town. Bethlehem was not the big city. And Ephrathah was the region around it. And it says, "You who are too little to be among the clans of Judah." It's too little to be counted among the clans of the tribe of Judah. It's just a little poor kind of backwater region. "From you shall come forth for me one who is to be ruler in Israel, whose coming forth is from of old, from ancient days." We think that our honoring of Advent needs to look at least as good as last year and better this year. Let's add Elf on the Shelf. Let's add another tradition. And there's nothing wrong with those things. Nothing wrong, and lots good about them, lots of fun. However, if we are to truly honor Christ in Advent, truly honor Christ in the Christmas season, it needs to also involve the quiet humility of our hearts. And that can put aside some of my desires to wrap another couple strings of lights so I don't look like I'm bringing up the rear, so I don't look like I'm weak and vulnerable, so I don't look like Bethlehem Ephrathah, so I don't look like I'm too small to be considered among the clans of Judah. If this did not dishonor Christ, then our simple love, our simple adoration, our simple worship of him does not dishonor him either. You are off the hook. Go ahead and buy the ugly Christmas sweater. Go ahead and drink the eggnog. Go ahead and put up the lights. But you're off the hook to achieve those. We can honor Christ along with Bethlehem as a humble town in a manger that was not lovely, but it was needy and dependent. And it honored the King of Kings to come there. Bless you today.